Next topic, Newton's law of gravitation. So this is a pandemic year. This is coronavirus pandemic year 2020. Around 350-360 years back in 1665, 1666 also, so there was a pandemic called plague. So due to this plague outbreak in London, so all the business centers as well as these schools and colleges, they announced this holidays. So during this time, Newton discovered a law known as Newton's law of gravitation. So while doing work from home itself, just like nowadays now we call it as work from home during this coronavirus disease time. So this was also during that pandemic time, plague outbreak. Newton's law of gravitation was invented by Newton. The basic of this one is whenever the moon revolves around the earth, we know that by the Galileo efforts, Newton used this formula, the centripetal force of the moon, as the moon is moving with some velocity v in a orbit of radius r. So what is the acceleration of moon towards this one? That is a centripetal acceleration of moon. It was given by v is equal to, we can write the time period of the moon is 2 pi r by v. So in place of v we can write 2 pi r by t. This is 2 pi r by t whole square by r. So this will become 4 pi square r square by t square. This r by 1 will become 1 by r cancel. So the acceleration is given by 4 pi square r by t square. This is the acceleration. So in this we know this value 4 is a known value, pi square is equal to 22 by 7 or 3.14 whole square, nearly 9.89 into radius of the orbit of the earth around the sun, which is equal to 3.84 into 10 power 8 meters. So this is a 4 pi square r by. What is the time period of moon around the sun? This is nearly 28 days. So now if you take this value, so this is exactly 27.3 days, and if you take it converts into each day into hours, seconds, 3600 seconds per day whole square, and finally he got some value. So after observing this value, he surprised after seeing this value. The acceleration due to gravity on the surface of earth was 9.8 meter per second square. But the acceleration here he got is 9.8 by 3600. Means the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of earth, we know that 9.8 meter per second square. But as you move away from the earth, the acceleration at this point due to the earth pulling, because the centripetal acceleration of moon at this point must be equal to the acceleration of the earth gravity. But these two values are not matching. This is 9.8, but here this is 9.8 by 3600. So this value is very small. So based on this one, he found that the acceleration to gravity changes from point to point, and the force of attraction between these two also changes as the distance changes. Why? Because the value of small g also based upon the force of attraction between the two bodies only. So according to him, what is this Newton law of gravitation? Every body in this universe, whether it is a sun, moon, universe, attracts every other body with a force which is directly proportional to product of masses of the bodies and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. This is the famous Newton's law of gravitation. You might have studied this in lower classes, especially in laws of planets or in gravitation in our CBSE, ICSE or state syllabus. M1 is the first body, let M2 be the second body, let the distance between these two is r. According to this statement, every body in this universe attracts every other body with a force. So this force, which is directly proportional to the product of their masses. So the force between these two, that is gravitational force, is directly proportional to the product of their masses. Mass of the first body M1, mass of second body M2. So this is M1 into M2, and it is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. So force between these two bodies is inversely proportional to square of the distance between these two bodies. So let me take this as equation 1 and this is equation 2. From 1 and 2, we can combine these two equations as F directly proportional to M1 M2 by R square. But I want to remove this one, and now I can write this as F is equal to something into M1 M2 by R square. So this is a constant of proportionality which we call it as a G here. So what is this G? G is called a universal gravitational constant. So G is called a universal gravitational constant. Now, what is this G? How to define this G? So G can be written as, by cross multiplication you can write G is equal to F R square by M1 M2, F R square by M1 M2. This is the expression for G. Now, what is the unit of G? So unit of G is force is measured in newtons, distance is measured in meter square by mass, first mass kg, second mass kg, kg into kg will become kg square. So this is Newton meter square kg power minus 2. This is the unit for capital G. Similarly, whenever there is a new physical quantity, we need to find how to write the dimensional formula for this one. For dimensional formula, force is nothing but ma, that is mass into acceleration Lt minus 2, and distance square will be L square by mass into mass, mass square. Here m and m get cancelled. M when go up here, m power 1 minus 1 L cube T minus 2. So the dimensional formula for universal gravitational constant is m power minus 1 L cube T minus 2. We have very few physical quantities in which the dimension of mass is negative, and one of them is a universal gravitational constant. Now, how to define this capital G value? So to define this capital G value, so G is defined as the force between two bodies which are separated by 1 meter distance and having masses each mass equal to 1 kg each. That means if you keep two bodies here, this is 1 kg body, this is another kg body, 1 kg, and the distance of separation between these two is 1 meter, then these two will attract with some force. That force is called a universal gravitational constant. So the definition of universal gravitational constant is, it is the force of attraction between two bodies. I can say gravitational force. Why? Because we have different types of forces. So capital G is the gravitational force of attraction between two bodies of unit mass separated by 1 meter distance. In space, anywhere, not only space, anywhere, no need to add this one, supplementation, because this will not depend, it will not change from place to place. There are some physical constants which may change from place to place. For example, if you take small g, on the surface of earth 9.8, on the surface of sun 32 point something, and on the surface of moon it will be 9.8 by 6, nearly 1.62. So it changes from place to place. So they are not known as universal constants, but capital G is known as a universal gravitational constant. That means this will not depend upon the medium between the two bodies. So this G value can be applied for Sun and Jupiter, between Jupiter and one more star in the system in our Milky Way. So that's why it is called a universal gravitational constant. F is equal to capital G m1 m2 by r square is the expression of Newton's law of gravitation in scalar form. But we know that force is a vector, this is a vector, this is F bar. But what are the vectors on right side? Remember, this is a gravitational constant which is a scalar, and these are the masses, scalars, but distance can be given as position vector here. Now I am going to write this in position vector form. So this is m1, this is m2, masses are scalar quantities, this is the distance between these two. Now instead of this these two in a particular position here, in this position, let me take one y-axis and x-axis. This is x-axis and y-axis, and here I am going to keep two masses m1, and let us say this is m2. The distance between these two is r, but what is the position vector of the first mass? So let me take this as r1. What is the position vector of the second mass? This is r2. And what is the distance between these two? The distance between these two is given by this. This is also a vector. So this is from 1 to 2. So I can write this as r12 bar. How to get this r12 bar? Once again I am going to use a triangle of vector addition. So if you start this one, triangle, first side, second side, this is the resultant of these two in the opposite side. So what I am going to write? r1 bar plus r12 bar is equal to r2 bar. These are all vectors. So what is the distance between these two? The distance between these two, r12 bar is given by r2 bar minus r1 bar. Now I can write this here. I can use this concept, vector distance between these two can be used in this formula. Now here if you take m1 and m2, I am going to write f12. If I write f12 here, what is the meaning of this one? Force experienced by first body due to the second body. Remember this one? This is the force experienced by first body due to second body. So this is f12 bar. Similarly, what is f21 bar here? If I write this as f21 bar, this is the force experienced by second body due to first body. So this is a force experienced by second body due to the first body. Here f12 bar means force experienced by first body due to second body. Now how to write this in vector form? Being force being a vector, we can write f12 bar is given by capital G m1 m2, all are scalars, by what is the magnitude of this vector? The magnitude of this vector r12 bar is given by magnitude of r2 bar minus r1 bar. So what I am going to write in place of r, so this is the r here, this I am denoting this as r. So instead of r square I am going to write r square and multiply this with, this is also a scalar here, multiply this with r cap. This is a G m1 m2 by r square, scalar quantity. This is also scalar quantity. If you multiply any scalar with a vector, you will get a vector. So this we know that scalar multiplied with a vector. Now you can write this as capital G m1 m2 by r square. So what is this magnitude of this unit vector. Magnitude of unit vector is always 1. So this r cap can be written as r bar by magnitude of r. This is how you can write a unit vector, that is given vector by magnitude of that vector always gives the unit vector in the direction of r bar. Now this can be simplified as g m1 m2 by, we know this is r square, this is another r magnitude, this will become r cube r bar. But we know that this is r12 bar. Here if you join these two, mass 1 will experience, this is the force experienced by first mass due to the second body or second mass. So the first body will be attracted by the second body in this direction. So this is the force direction experienced by first body to second body. So this is F12 bar. What is F21 bar? This is the force experienced by the second body due to the first body. Second body will be attracted by first body towards its center. So here I can write F21 bar. So this is F21 bar. So these two forces are equal and opposite to each other. Now based on this one, what I am going to write, what is F12 bar here? That is force experienced by first body to the second body is in this direction. So what is the position vector between these two? So this is a r12 bar. So that vector is r bar is nothing but r12 bar. F12 bar can be written as r12 bar. Similarly, what is F21 bar here? That is the force experienced by second body due to first body. Second body will be attracted by first body in this direction. So then we have to take this plus this is equal to this. So now I can write F21 bar is equal to capital G m1 m2 by r cube into this r12 bar, it will become r21 bar. Why? Because this force is not acting in this direction. F21 bar is acting in the opposite direction. That's why this force always acts in the direction of r21 bar. Remember students, if you take our textbook, the notations will be different, and if you take some other reference book like H.C. Verma, D.C. Pandey, or even Lakshmi Publications, or even S.L. Arora books, if you refer different books, this notation will be different. Sometimes instead of r21 bar, in some books it may be given as r12 bar can be written as r21 bar. That is position of vector from second body to first body. So this will be r21 bar. I am taking this one, but in some other books the notation may change. Don't consider this notation. That means don't think that this is the final notation, and if you refer some other books the notation may be different. Don't worry about this one. The only thing is that the direction of this one is in the direction of this positional vector between the two masses. So this is how you can write Newton's law of gravitation in vector form. So this is a Newton's law of gravitation in vector form. So sometimes they may ask you for 2 marks. State Newton's law of gravitation and give the mathematical formula in vector form. Then you have to write the statement for 1 mark, and you have to write only this final expression for 1 more mark. Of the properties of this gravitational force, the first one is gravitational force is always attractive force. But if you take this electric force, if you keep 2 similar charges, they always repels with each other. But if you keep a opposite force, then they can attract. But in the gravitational force, each and every body in this universe attracts another body with a force which is always attractive. This is the property. Second one, F gravitational is a central force. Very, very important point while solving the problems. Central force. What is meant by this central force? Now this is M1, this is M2, and the center of these two bodies is given by, so this is M1, this is M2, and if you join these two centers of the two bodies, these two bodies attract with each other along this line only. So center force means force of attraction acts along the line joining the two centers. So that's why it is called a central force. So the first one is ground force is always attractive, and ground force is always a central force. Third one, F gravity does not depends on the medium between the two bodies. So if the medium between these two is air, let us say ground force between these two is F is equal to 12 newtons. If the medium is air, let us say if you keep some sand here, then F2 will be 12 newtons, and if you keep some fire here, then F3 is 12 newtons, and if you keep some water here, F4 12 newtons. That means the force between two masses never depends upon the medium between the two bodies. Then, so these are the main important points that we have to remember. Why? Because while solving the problems, if they ask you to find the repulsive ground force, the answer is it should be 0, because there is no repulsive force in gravitation, and this is a central force. So while solving any problem, first we need to connect the two bodies with a straight line, and the third one is very, very important. If whenever the medium changes, the force between these two bodies remains the same. It only depends upon the masses, product of masses, and universal proportional to the square of the distance only. More than two masses, let us say this is m1, this is m2, this is m3. So what is the force of attraction between these two? The force of attraction will act along the line joining these two, because this is a central force. Even though third mass is present, the force between these two, that is F12 or F21, F12 bar, F21 bar, never changes. That means does not depends upon the masses in their neighborhood. Similarly, this is F13 and this one F31. This is F23. Force of this one. This is F32 bar. So these forces never change their direction, as well as never change their magnitude. So the direction is always along this line. Magnitude is always depends upon this formula, product of masses by square of the distance. Now, let me solve one problem here. Let us say this is 1 kg. M1 is equal to 1 kg. M2 is equal to 2 kg. M3 is equal to 3 kg. And they are at the vertices of an equilateral triangle. Let us say these three are placed at three different corners of an equilateral triangle. So this is equilateral triangle. Now, the side of this one is, side of the equilateral triangle is, let us say this is 10 meters. So all sides will be 10 meters, as it is a equilateral triangle. Now, they are asking us to find out the force experienced by the second mass, or M2, 2 kg. Remember students, these two attracts with each other with a force. This is nothing but force experienced by second body due to first body, F12 bar. And this will be experienced some force due to this one. So this will be attracted by this one. So this is F23 bar. So what is the net force experienced by this body? Net force is these are the two forces acting from the same point here. So first let me find out this value first and then this value first. Then we will find the net force here. Now, force between 2 kg and 1 kg masses. So which is given by F21, because I am finding the net force experienced by second body. Find net force experienced by M2 mass. So I am finding the force from this one due to this one, which is going to be capital G m1 m2 by r square. What is capital G? The value of capital G is constant because it is a universal gravitational constant, 6.67 into 10 power minus 11. This is the value of capital G. What are the product of the masses? This is m1, this is m2. So you can write the product of these two. You can take this as m1, m2. While taking this one m2, m3, you can take anything. But here the product of these two masses 1 into 2. So this will be 1 into 2. What is the distance between these two? 10 meters whole square. So this will become 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 into 2 by 100. So now this will become 4. 6 to 12 plus 1, 13. So 12, this will become 13.34. When this 100 comes up, this will become 10 power minus 13 newtons. So this is F21 bar. This is equation 1. So I got this value F21 bar. Now I need to find F23 bar because the force, gravitational force experienced by a body in a system of bodies, more than two bodies means we call it a system of bodies. The net force experienced by a body is equal to the vector sum of the forces between these individual bodies. So according to law of superposition that we are going to learn in first PUC, or we can write law of vector addition. Instead of this we can write according to law of vector addition, net force experienced by a body in a system of particles. Here also instead of body let me take by a particle in a system of particles is equal to vector sum of individual forces experienced by it. So here when I am finding the net force experienced by this body, the net force experienced by second body is equal to, that is vector sum of F21 bar, because second body is attracted by first body, plus second body experiences a force due to third body. Only this. We should not consider this force because I am finding the net force experienced by second body only. This is the force between first and third body. So we should not consider that force here. So now just now I found F21 bar. So this is F21 bar. So what is this F23 bar? So F23 bar is given by same formula capital G. Here I wrote M1, M2, product of M1 and M2. Here between these two bodies let me write M2, M3. F M2, M3 by R is same R square. So now we can write this as 6.67 into 10 power minus 11. Mass of this body 2, mass of this body is 3. You can write 2 into 3 by, this is 100. Otherwise let me write 10 square first. As it is in meters, directly you can write meters. Sometimes the same problem can be given as in distance centimeter or millimeter. So please convert them. Now this will become 6 into 6.67 into 10 power 11 by 100, 10 power minus 13. So this value will be 6 into 6.67, which is equal to 40.02 into 10 power minus 13 newtons. This is F23 bar. After getting this value and I found F23 bar. Now I need to add them. Remember, this is not the scalar addition. This is a vector sum here. This is not the scalar sum. So I need to use law of cosines. Here, if two forces are acting from the same point, now I have to construct a parallelogram here. The diagonal drawn from the same point, this is the resultant. So this is the resultant force experienced with this one. So I am going to find this F2 bar. So how to find F2 bar here? The resultant of this one is given by F net is equal to F2 bar is equal to vector sum of F21 bar plus F23 bar, which we can write square root of F21 bar plus F23 bar whole square plus 2 into F21 into cos theta. But what is the angle between these two? We know that the given diagram is an equilateral triangle. Angle between any two sides is always equal to 60 degrees. This angle 60. So now I am going to find that one. F net or F net. They are asking net force only. So I am writing F net bar is equal to square root of, what is this F21 bar? This one whole square. So I am going to write 13.34 into 10 power minus 13 whole square. What is F23 bar? This is equal to 40.02 into 10 power minus 13 whole square plus 2 into this into that is 13.34 into 40.02 into 10 power minus 13 minus 13, 10 power minus 26. Cos 60 here, that is 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 2. This 2 to get cancelled here. Now by simplification, F net bar is given by, I am simplifying this equation. If you take 10 power minus 13 whole square, you can write the 10 power minus 13 outside here. 10 power minus 13. Now, this is 13.34 whole square. This is 177.95. 40.02 into 40.02. This is 1601.60 plus as I brought this 10 power minus 26 under root as 10 power minus 13. So I can multiply these two. 13.34 into 40.02, 533.86. So the net force here is given by sum of these three, that is square root of something into 10 power minus 13 newtons. Now let me add these three. 533.86 plus 1601.60 plus 177.95, which is equal to 2313.41. So this is the net force. So final answer will be F2 bar or F net is given by square root of this value. This will become 48.09 into 10 power minus 13 newtons. This is how you can solve this problem. So don't add these values after getting F12 bar and F23 bar. So we have to add them by using parallelogram law of vector relation or law of cosines. Three equal masses small m kg each are fixed at the vertices of an equilateral triangle ABC. What is the force acting on a mass 2m placed at centroid of the triangle? So first let me take one triangle here. This is an equilateral triangle. So let me take this as A, B, C. So this will be the centroid. So a mass is placed at the center of this triangle. So let me take this G. It is given that in the bracket AG is equal to BG is equal to CG. AG is equal to BG is equal to CG, because center is always at equidistance from all three vertices. So this is 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. Now what is the force acting on this here? Here the masses that are kept at A, B, C are, this mass is M, this mass is M, this mass is M, but the mass kept here is 2M. Now here I am going to solve this problem by using vector method here. What is the force between A and G? So force experienced by the particle placed at G due to the particle or mass placed at A. So this is given by capital G m into 2m by the distribution is 1 square. This is the force. I am going to write 2gm square by 1 means 2gm square. So how this force is acting here? G will be attracted by this particle A in this direction. So this is the force experienced by G due to the mass placed at A. So this is FGA that I am writing here. FGA is the direction here. Now we know that as it is an equal triangle, each and every angle will be 16. But what about this angle? So if you take this line here, if you draw a straight line here passing through the centroid, so this angle is 30 because this line always bisects that angle. If it is 30, this is also 30. Similarly, if it is 30, this will also 30 degrees. So this force can result into two components here. What are those two components here? The two components can be resolved as, so if it is FGA, so this will be FGA cos 30. This will be FGA sin 30. But how they are acting? This is acting along negative x-axis. So minus I cap. This is a minus j cap. Similarly, if you take this force here, this is FGA GB, and this can also result in two components. So this will be FGC cos 30, and here this is FGC sin 30. But it is acting along positive x-axis I cap, and this will become minus j cap. Now I am going to write this as FGA has FGA bar can be written as 2gm square. This is FGA 2gm square cos 30 minus I cap, or minus I cap cos 30 plus this is FGA sin 30 minus j cap, or minus j cap sin 30. Generally they wrote sin 30 degrees j cap cos 30 I cap. So this is how you can write this one. So this will be 2gm square. What is cos 30? This is root 3 by 2 I cap. This is 1 by 2 j cap. This is equation 1. So I wrote this same thing in terms of the vectors here. Now I am going to write FGB bar. Here also what is FGB bar? First of all, this is mass 2m into m, that is 2m square, distance 1 square into g. So this is 2gm square only, but I am writing 2gm square. What is the cos value here? Cos 30 is equal to root 3 by 2 I cap. So this is root 3 by 2 I cap minus 1 by 2 j cap. Remember students, as it is along negative x-axis, here you will get negative here. So this is equation 2. So what is FGC bar? GC bar is here 2m is attracted by m. So this will be outwards here. This is in the upward direction. FGB. So FGB is given by, this is FGC. So this is FGB. So this is given by 2g m into 2m. 2gm square by 1 square into, remember students, this vector is already acting along positive y-axis. If you resolve into two components either along x-axis or negative x-axis, both components will become 0. So only j cap, positive j cap, equation 3. Now what is the total net force experienced by this one here? The total force is given by sum of these three here. So the total force experienced by G is given by FGA bar, FGB bar, FGC bar. So these are the forces. So FG bar is given by, what is FGA bar? This is FGA bar. So 2gm square, 2gm square, 2gm square is common here. So I am writing 2gm square common. Otherwise let me write here. Okay. Now what are the other terms here? Minus 3 by 2i, minus 1 by 2, minus root 3 by 2 I cap, minus 1 by 2 j cap, here I am going to close this one, plus this one root 3 by 2 I cap minus 1 by 2 j cap plus this is j cap. Let me close. This is minus root 3 by 2 plus root 3 by 2 cancel. So fg is given by 2gm square. Remaining terms minus half j minus j. This is plus j. So plus j minus j get cancelled 0. So 0 into anything is 0. So what is the net force experienced by any mass? Not only 2m, if you take 3m, 5m, 10m, whatever it may be, if you keep any body of whatever may be the mass at a centroid of an equal triangle having similar masses, that means same masses, the force experienced by this one is always equal to 0. So for the first one answer is 0. What is the force if mass at vertex A is doubled? Now here instead of 2m, if you keep 4m, 6m, 8m, 10m, or maybe force will become 0. But here at vertex A it is doubled. If it is doubled, what happens to the force? Now if you double it, then it will become, instead of m, this will become 2m. So this will become FGA will become 4gm square, and this vector form 4gm square. So this will become 4gm square. And but other two magnitudes will not same. It remains as it is. Now instead of A, let us say the force at this one vertex B is doubled. So what happens we will see. Now in this case, let us say this is 2m. Now the equation FGA remains as 2gm square. This will become 2gm square. So as it is, this will also will not change. Only FGB, this will change. So this will become 4gm square. Now add these three. So this is 2gm square, this plus this plus this, but this will become another 2. This is 2j. So this will become 2j. So 2j minus j will be 1j. So the final answer is 2gm square into 2j minus j will be j cap. But the force is in newtons.